So yesterday we got Tim Pool's response to the Eliza Bleu situation kind of through a third party with Shane Cashman's article early on in the day. But then in his late night show on Timcast IRL, he went on an absolute meltdown. He went on a tear, going after the quartering, going after his own fans who are sending him super chats who have been ignored for the past week, trying to get him to talk about Eliza Bleu. Let's check it out. If you enjoy videos like this, if you enjoy this Eliza Bleu situation, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be posting a lot more videos just like it. Let's get into the video. So I am going to have to play these videos on 1.5 speed because there is a lot of stuff to go over. There's a lot of clips of him just absolutely losing his mind at fans and at the quartering and even trashing on Eliza Bleu a little bit, which I don't really understand. But let's get right into the first clip and then I will bring up multiple clips afterwards. Here's the first one.
And then I put up a poll and I said, smash the like button if you don't trust Eliza Bleu. And 89% said I will like because I don't trust her. That means everybody who smashed the thumbs down trusts Eliza Bleu. All right, well, that was an interesting...
That's such a cringe, like, boomer troll, dude. That's like that's how you troll people when you're 45 plus and just don't really understand the internet that much. Also, you're probably wondering why this is in Windows Media Player. It's because I kind of expected them to, one, hide the chat, or to, two, put the stream behind a paywall once they realized the backlash that they were getting. And I wanted to be able to have the actual recordings of the chat, and I wanted everyone to be able to see what the chat's saying and everything like that. So that's why I put it in Windows Media Player, just in case something fishy happens. I want to document it.
It's 13,000 votes. It's interesting to see that so many people came here to support her by giving us a thumbs down. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. A lot of people do support. Scroats McGoat says, last night as a member, if Tim doesn't disavow Eliza tonight, get the out, Scroats McGoat. You can cancel right now and see you later. You will never wave money in my face and make me disavow anybody, especially someone I care so little about, Eliza Bleu. She's been on the show 2 times. If you're going to cancel because I won't do what you say, you shouldn't have been here in the first place. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
It doesn't make much sense to me how Tim Pool refuses to disavow someone he cares so little about. In his own words, he cares so little about. There's just so many contradictions with everything that he's going to say in this video. That's just the start of it. I don't understand. If you care so little about them and they mean so little to you, why have they been on your show twice? And also, if they've been on your show twice and you do still not care about them, just disavow them, or just at least say that you don't agree with what she's been doing, with what she's been saying. You don't agree with the lies. That's all you have to say. You don't have to disavow them completely as an entire person. Disavow the idea. They bring that up later on. They're like, just attack the ideas. Stop attacking the person, Eliza Bleu. Attack the situation instead of the ideas. You can do the same thing. Disavow the situation instead of disavowing the person.
Here's $5 FU for, I'm pretty bummed. Thought you stood against censorship. Hope you change. See you later, buddy. Look, sad to see you go, but I will never cater to a mob. And that's it. End of story. Eliza Bleu is not important. She's not important to me. She's not a member of Congress. She doesn't enact policy. She is a low tier internet personality that for some reason people are desperately obsessed with, and I literally don't care. So have a nice day.
I gotta say this: if someone got banned off Twitter or any platform for a reason other,
yeah, I don't really care what Ian has to say. He's just gonna say some dumb stuff. Actually, he does speak some truth here. He says, he's talking about how people are wrongfully censored on Twitter and how that needs to be looked into. Obviously, I agree, but it's just like I don't know. He never says anything intelligent. But Tim Pool is absolutely losing it at his fans, at his super chatters, for simply trying to get him to address a situation where he keeps saying he doesn't care about this person. He keeps saying how irrelevant she is, and yet he had her on her show twice. That doesn't make any sense. Just address the situation, man. Just stop ignoring the hundreds of super chats that are trying to get you to talk about the situation. And then whenever you do address the situation, it's so disappointing to me, dude. I was saying it on stream last night. We were reacting live. And I just expected more from Tim. And you'll see, it gets even worse, dude. It gets even worse. The theory that he has about the situation and why it's happening the way it is, it's just so disappointing to me. I just expected more. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people lost all faith in Tim before this situation. I just expected more. I expected him to have more integrity than this. But let's continue on.
other than violating the terms of service, that's a big deal and should be taken up and will be if it happened with the Twitter administration or the administration of the social network. But the personal stuff, TMZ.
If people care about this stuff, they're allowed to. But like the idea that people are going to come here and threaten, like, I will cancel my membership because you're not talking about someone no one ever heard of. It's like, dude, I get that. You know who she is. But you know what's funny about Jack Murphy and Eliza Bleu is that here's what happens. People ask questions about these personalities. And I know most people listening are like, I have no idea who these people are. And that's exactly it.
Dude, you have 30,000 people in your chat. Look how many people are talking about Eliza Bleu. Can somebody in the chat or somebody in the comments find a single person in this chat that is not spamming Tim or putting blue emojis in, somebody not talking about Eliza Bleu? He had 30,000, I think it was like 38,000 live viewers. Every single one of them was talking about Eliza Bleu. So to say that most of your audience has no idea who Eliza Bleu is, you can just see from the like to dislike ratio right here that that's just not true. It's at least 50%. And if you look at the actual chats that are coming in, if you look at the super chats that are coming in, I would say it's more like 90%, 95% know who she is.
We had about 40,000 peak concurrent viewers. We get, 300 to 500,000 video viewers plus 100,000 on the podcast, and then about 1 million across the clips. And the people who watch have no idea what the people in the chat are talking about when it comes to Eliza Bleu or Jack Murphy. In fact, John, do you know who Eliza Bleu is?
The only reason I knew is because I saw you guys talking about it one time.
One time we mentioned
I never learned about her organically. No.
So what I think is going on, to be completely honest.
By the way, he later on contradicts the question that he just asked that guy. What he was expecting was that guy to say, no, I have no idea who she is. Tim later on reveals that they talked about Eliza Bleu already behind the scenes with that guy. They had he asked them, John Rich is the guest name. He asked him, what's up with this Eliza Bleu person before the show. So Tim knew that he already knew who Eliza Bleu was. He just wanted to ask him so he could prove his point. And he didn't. He didn't lie completely, but he did lie a little bit.
Is that the people who are claiming they hate her are actually probably a paid reputational firm to promote her. So that's why I brought this up last week. There are companies you can hire.
This is honestly the most ridiculous part to me. It's not as insane as people are making it out to be. Like, it could be a little bit, like, it could be true. Like, there's a very small percentage chance, but it's not. It's really not, and this is the most disappointing part to me about the whole thing.
That will spam the internet to generate buzz and attention for you. There's no such thing as bad press. Mm-hmm. So when I see people like flooding our comments and saying things that aren't true, like I'm canceling my membership, I can see who's canceling their memberships. Like I own the website. And this past week, we have gained slightly more members than we normally gain. And it's probably because of the guests we had on last week or whatever. And whatever. Jack Masobic, maybe, he's a great personality. And so we gain several hundred per week, and we gain a little bit more than that on average. With people coming in claiming that they're canceling their memberships. Maybe they are, but we're gaining more than they're being canceled. I think that many of these people, I think two things are happening.
In regards to the membership, them gaining the most that they've ever gained in the last week or 2 weeks, whatever he said, I think that could be true, just simply because so many people are talking about Tim Pool right now that I think that they probably have gained more than they ever have, or, more than average. But I think they're also losing more than average as well, because there's so many people talking about Tim Pool. Like, this video is going to have Tim Pool in the title. There's a ton of streams out there with Tim Pool in the title. So many other YouTubers are putting Tim Pool in their title, and a lot of people are searching Tim Pool's name. So he's going to get a lot more traffic than normal whenever he's trending this much. But I think he's also getting the wrong type of traffic at the same time. So I think he's getting new viewers in who are getting memberships, but he's also having the old members get fed up with Tim and they're canceling their membership. So I don't think the net positive is as big as it's been before, but I think he could be kind of bending the truth a bit by saying that he is gaining more subscribers than he ever has. I just don't think the net positive, the net gain is there. That's just my theory.
One, a lot of it's inorganic promotion of Eliza Bleu. A ton of content flooding the internet, bring up a personality no one's ever heard of, makes her instantly famous to even the likes of, 9-time Grammy nominee John Rich, who's not heard of her. Mm-hmm. That's the point. They want us to talk about her because they're being paid to generate controversy. They either want to, that's why it doesn't matter if we say anything good or bad. Yeah, if we say, look, we're doing the story, Shane Cashman's, no, it's bad. Mm-hmm. We say, okay, we're not going to talk, oh, no, now it's bad. I think it's a PR campaign in order, I think people are being paid to promote her.
Yeah, it keeps you in the cycle, basically.
That's right. She's never been more famous.
I just want to know where my check is. That's my only question. If I'm being paid to promote this person, I want to know where my check is, and I want to know where it started. Because what Tim is claiming is that she has the absolute most genius PR firm to ever exist. Like I said, it's not completely impossible. With what we've seen the last few years, nothing's impossible in my eyes. But if she did hire a PR firm, for one, she would have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars to get what she did get done. There's no way that she had that much money. There's no reason for her to have that much money. If she did have that much money, she wouldn't need to grift like she is. She wouldn't need the PR firm because she would already have the money. She would have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars to do that. But what he's claiming is that her PR firm is so genius that they knew that Brittany Venti and Defango would get struck down, or they did that on purpose. And they knew that them striking them on Twitter, banning them off Twitter, would cause this huge outrage, which would, I guess we've been accusing Eliza Bleu of the Streisand effect. Maybe it's on purpose. Maybe she did it on purpose. Maybe because she's been banning everything, she expected everyone to go crazy. She expected everyone to start talking about her. And, maybe that is the case. I don't think she's that smart, and I don't think any PR firm on earth is that smart to be able to do that, unless she's affiliated with the FBI. That's the only, if a PR firm is that genius to where they could start striking this random music video, world star hip hop music video from years ago, and knowing that that was going to make her famous, knowing that that was going to cause a huge outrage over the internet, if they're that smart. And also, they totally trashed her reputation that she's been built up. She's been going on all these right-wing shows. She's been going on Timcast, on Zuby, Michael Malice. She's been going on all these shows. And she paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to a PR firm to completely trash her reputation in the name of getting infamous. I don't believe it for a second. Let me know in the comments if you believe it. I don't believe it for a second. But also, if the PR firm is that genius to be able to pull that off, then they do belong in the FBI, or maybe they're already working for the FBI, because we know that she has FBI ties. So I think it's ridiculous. Let me know in the comments what you think.
Because of this.
Exactly.
And so I'll be completely honest with the Shane Cashman story. I told Shane Cashman I didn't want him to do the story because he went from profiling Ye to Carrie Lake and now to a low mid-tier internet personality over that I just think the next he was supposed to be interviewing Andrew Tate. We reached out to Tate. As Shane mentioned, this may kill the story, and Tate said yes. And so we were like, this is great. Shane writes tremendous work. I said, I don't think he should do it because clearly they're trying to promote Eliza Bleu. That's what this whole thing is about. She's never been more famous. Yeah. And I think it's beneath him. But he said, look, man, I really, really want to dig in and do the story. It's 80,000 words is massive. And I'm like, look, man, you do your thing. I'm not gonna tell you what you can or can't write. I trust you. At Timcast, we don't tell people they have to say something. They can't say things. If someone wants to post offensive memes on social media, I'm not gonna fire them over it. Shane comes to me and says, this is the story I gotta tell. I say, you do your thing. But I'm telling everybody who's listening and doesn't know who this is, I will just explain. Right now, there's a massive campaign from high profile personalities to promote and make Eliza Bleu famous. She has stated she wants to be famous, even to Shane Cashman. And so they're coming and spamming us with comments to force us to talk about her like we are right now to make her more famous. Yep. It's working. And I was like, let's not go anywhere near this because someone's getting paid. It's a PR stunt and it's working.
Yeah, that's crazy that he spun it like this. I did not expect him to say anything like this. I think this is even worse than ignoring it, to be honest. This is worse than how he handled the Jack Murphy situation. This is disappointing. This is very disappointing because, like I said earlier, a lot of people had already given up hope that Tim Pool could, not be a grifter, could have some morals and not just care about money. But it just seemed like all he's talking about is, the memberships, the money. And then he's talking about this PR firm stuff. And it's just so disappointing to me. Like somebody said in the chat right there, so disappointed. Like it's sad to me, because I really did have faith that he could still be a good person, a good content creator that I would like to follow, but it's not the case.
My guy. The same folks, I love the my guy, saying the boys never get off their butts to knock doors or harvest ballots. A real life mission for the betterment of all of us. Cry more, Jeremy. Raymond, the reason why they don't is because it's inorganic. It's a PR stunt where you hire a firm to generate controversy. Some people are either paid, I don't know, or join in because it looks like it's generating traffic. But the goal is people who want to be famous. And we know there are people who have admitted that they're trying to be famous. Will go to a reputation management firm and say, here's 50 grand, make me famous. And they will then spam YouTube, spam comments. And their goal is to get YouTubers to see a wave of comments saying,
I just don't buy that Eliza Bleu. I know that she wants to get famous. I understand that. So that part checks out. I just don't buy that she would throw away the entire reputation that she's been building up for the last year or so, going on all these shows, getting all these connections. She was connected with Ye. I don't buy that she would throw away those connections just for a few weeks of fame, because once this is over, once Eliza Bleu is found out and we understand the entire story, this is going to be over. And nobody's going to talk about Eliza Bleu again because her reputation is totally tarnished. Her reputation is trashed. She hasn't done any of the things that she claimed that she, did or is doing. And she hasn't been the victim that she said that she is so far, unless we find out some more info. Her reputation is trashed. Her reputation is done. So once this is over, once the drama is over, nobody will be talking about her anymore. So she wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars on this PR firm that I never got paid for it. And I don't know anybody who's gotten paid for it. So I wonder where that starts. Where does the paying start?
and please talk about this. Then they go, okay, I will. They will then do this. There's a very clever thing. Ryan Holiday did this. He bought a billboard for Tucker Max and then vandalized it himself. Then he called a radio station and said, what's this billboard that just got vandalized? Mm-hmm. So then it became a controversy manufactured. So you want to know why I think these people got censored on Twitter? I think it's possible, and I'll just keep it vague. It is a PR stunt targeting people who talk about free speech with censorship to trick them into promoting an individual trying to be famous. And they all walked right into it. It is PR stunt 101.
It also makes me think there are situations where a creator would pay a firm to do it 50 grand or whatever. But then there's also the impact investment that there could be companies that try and find.
Nobody cares.
You then use your multiple accounts to
I'm sorry,
flag
I don't
them,
mean I don't mean to be like a dick to that guy, but he just, I just don't care, man.
An algorithmic censorship campaign. You then use the bots to spam a conspiracy theory. You then start, I mean, look, I think somebody paid to make Eliza Bleu famous, and the people who are commenting are trying to make her famous. Yeah. Like one of the first things John said to me was like, you know, what's you asked me about Eliza Bleu.
So he's saying that everybody in the chat right now is bots. These people who are paying to send him super chats to talk about Eliza Bleu are bots. Everybody who's commenting on this video right now, let me know if you're a bot or not. And apparently all of you are bots. Not saying that the content creators are being paid now. He's more saying that the people who are supporting the content creators, the people who are commenting, super chatting himself are bots about Eliza Bleu. That's insane, dude. This is very disappointing.
And then I was like, oh, you know her? And you're like, oh no, I just heard from this.
Right.
And
I never heard of her, and I went, I don't know who that is, but I saw you were talking about her, and I went, and I saw there was some debate going on. I thought, well, I should probably know what's going on with this. I'm getting ready to see Tim and everybody, so I dug in on it a little bit, and it was back and forth like a ping pong match. And I went,
that's exactly right there.
So then I went and bought her T-shirt, ball cap.
Yeah, that's where he contradicted himself, where they revealed that they actually talked about this backstage already. I guess they probably talked, you know, they probably are always talking about all the super chats that are coming in, talking about Eliza Bleu, all the people who were trying to get them to talk about her. And they're just like, yeah, these idiots are just sending us endless super chats, trying to get us to talk about Eliza Bleu. We're just raking in the money. I guess they probably make fun of all those people backstage.
I will be at the Eliza Bleu concert whenever that happens.
The idea is
I want to open for you.
But this is a good
Eliza Bleu, Save Horse Ride a Cowboy.
But this is a good one. Yeah, this is a good point you made, is that you couldn't make heads or tails of it.
No, it was really confusing.
That's the point of a PR stunt. They don't want to create a negative perception. They want to create name recognition. So for a lot of people, it's a negative name recognition for Eliza Bleu now. It's a negative response. For you, who is trying to like, what is this? I don't know, but you heard of her, and that's all that matters. It's like that line from Pirates of the Caribbean.
So as soon as he looks into who she is and what she's done, what she's lied about, she's just going to be hated by everyone who looks into it. She's either going to be barely known, like you're barely going to know her name, you're just going to know that she's famous, which isn't going to make you any money just by people knowing that you're famous. And then if they want to know anything more about you before they make you money, before they pay to you know, for your products or whatever, then they're going to realize that she's a liar, a fraud, and a grifter.
And when the guy says, you are the worst pirate I've ever heard of, and he goes, but you have heard of me.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yep. And so people are like, why won't Tim talk about it? Because you know what, man? I caved. The PR firm guys are sitting in their room in West Hollywood laughing their asses off saying, we got it. It normally costs, you know, more famous than she's ever been. There you go. But the reality is most of the people spamming us, they're not real people. Like,
that's just not true. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous statement.
Your viewers and supporters. Well, I got nothing else to say. I mean, look, Eliza
can't make anyone happy.
Are you joking?
Right. No, that's why it's like, I don't care, dude. Look, man, I've been around this for so long. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It ebbs and flows. There are people who will like you, then they'll hate you a year later. They demand that you talk about things. They will support you for standing up for what you believe in, then get mad when you don't believe what they want you to believe. Literally don't care. Miss Mary, like, by all means, if you don't like the content and you're not a supporter anymore, that's just the way things go. And there's nothing else. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, gee, well, let me say what I have to say so I can earn your $5. Like, dude, if you don't want to give me $5, don't give me $5. That's all I can say. All right. What
I actually kind of respect that part, and he is speaking facts. As you know, one year people will hate you for doing a certain thing, next year people will love you for doing a certain thing, and I respect the fact that he doesn't, you know, allow people to force him to talk about things, but either let them know up front that you're not going to talk about it, so don't send me super chats trying to get me to talk about it, or refund the super chats or something, bro. Do something that's honorable with the situation instead of just raking in the super chats and totally ignoring them over and over and over and over. Every single time something like this happens, it's the same thing. It's a ton of people super chatting in, trying to get him to talk about something, and him just totally ignoring it. At least let them know that you're not going to talk about it, so stop super chatting.
else we got? I think there was one more. Jared V says, Jeremy is live and trying to break down what you're saying. What do you have to say about that? You literally said you don't care about Eliza, so what else is there to say? It's a really, really good point. Eliza is an irrelevant figure who's trying to be famous, and y'all are making her famous. She's not in Congress. She doesn't know anybody. I guess she's talked with like Jack Dorsey in the past, but she is just like, it's remarkable to me when Jeremy Hambley goes on his show and says something like, Tim won't address the Jack Murphy stuff. And it's like, interesting. I wonder if anybody who is paying attention to a Chinese balloon carrying potential explosives of the United States is concerned about what some video some guy produced. So if like you're interested in interpersonal drama and e-girl celebrity stuff, Timcast is not the channel for you. And if that's the case, and then I don't want your money. Like, dude, it's remarkable that people are like, Tim, if you don't address e-girl drama, I'm going to cancel. I'm like, okay, all right, I'll cancel, I guess. I don't know. You know what we're going to do this week? We are going to be potentially talking with...
So he's pretty much comparing him and Jeremy's content and saying that his content is on a higher tier, I guess, because he doesn't talk about e-girls. He has members of Congress on his show, which also feeds into the fact, you know, why he won't disavow Eliza Bleu. Is because if he starts disavowing guests who have been on his show previously, then those members of Congress will no longer come on because they're so obsessed with, you know, their reputation, so obsessed with their public view. That's what, you know, that's all a politician is, really, is how people view them. That's all. That's how you move up in the political world. So if people start going on Tim's show and he shortly after disavows them whenever they're found out to do something, a lot of these politicians will stop going. You know, we've seen Dan Crenshaw cancel on him a ton of times because he's scared of what's going to happen if he goes on the show. So that's a big reason why he won't disavow these people. But that's pretty much it. I mean, let me know what you think about Tim Pool's absolute meltdown about Eliza Bleu. Kind of lashed out at fans. Let me know what you think about the whole situation. Long ass video. Sorry about how long it was, but thank you for staying to the end. If you did, please leave a like on the video, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you on the next one.